outside, the Watusi cattle. Native to Central Africa, this cattle was known as the cattle of kings, as many African chieftains had them as a sign of wealth. The more cattle they had, the richer they were considered. Both males and they've been used as pack animals for centuries. But they're hardly ever ridden, as they possess a couple of nasty habits. When tired, they lie down and they don't get back up. And when angry, they spit. If you look at the llama, you'll see they have eyes on both sides of their head. And this lets them see in all directions. And when in danger, llamas head for water, as they are surprisingly very good swimmers.
No, that's okay.
I can't stop too long here to block the entryway, but they are a rare and endangered species. Our lions snoozing away here. It's important to know that lions are lazy creatures. They sleep about 20 hours a day. So Bagheera. Now lions are the only members of a large cat family to live in family units, and they live in prides of 5 to 20 members. Each pride having its own territory where it hunts and sleeps. Now again, only the male has that mane. And you can see our male right on top there. His name's Feta, like feta cheese.
No? Sophie, wanna go there? Go.
Now white lions have existed in African folklore for centuries. They were thought to be children of the sun, sent to Earth as gifts.
Go sit over there.
In the wild, they exist in the region of South Africa, known as Timbavati. Unfortunately, according to the Global White Lion Protection Trust, there's only about 300 white lions left in the world today. A majority of that population are humans trying to feed the animals. You'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't, how many people think they can get out of their cars next to a wild animal. A week or 2 weeks ago seeing them, because they're a very timid species that's usually most active at night.
Most active at night.
Now they use their tongues like we use our fingers. They're prehensile world, meaning they were not bred down from a larger sized cow. They're a very gentle breed, and they're often found just sitting in the sun enjoying the heat of the day. And they're very rarely eaten because they are from India, where cattle are very rarely eaten. They're very hardy, disease-resistant cattle.
Yeah, good morning.
But coming up on your left, you're going to see our baboons snoozing away here on the ground, including some of our babies. Now, when a baby baboon's first born, they only weigh about half a pound, and they're completely black with bright red faces and ears.
Wait up there.
Now, of course, we have no leopards here.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be a very different safari if we had leopards in here, so they feel safe. But we'll talk about these guys here because we can't get past them just yet. They're making themselves known. This is the addax, the screwhorn antelope, and they have their horns on both the males and females that twist around in different directions. Now the fun fact about the addax is they don't need to drink water. They get all the moisture they need from the vegetation that they eat.
Look at that. Look at how close.
So while they will drink water if they have it available,
Right here.
they don't need to. And all the greens that they eat have enough moisture, as they're very well accustomed to the hot African climates. That's the addax. And as you can see, those horns have no rhyme or reason, they just twist around.
White, white one. Beautiful. Funny pretty.
Brian.
And now you didn't see the Barbary sheep already to your right, but you'll see some more coming up on your left and some more all throughout this reserve if you look off in the distance there. The Barbary sheep, now unfortunately the Barbary sheep has almost gone extinct in their habitat of northern Africa due to hunters. However, they've since been re-released into Colorado and California, and they're doing very well in the mountains in the Americas. So if you go to the States, you can see these guys there now as well, as they are a protected species there.
Sophie.
And this is their favorite pastime, just standing on rocks. You'll see them doing this all throughout the reserve, standing on rocks, eating grass, sleeping, repeating. And in the corner there, feeding on the grass, next to that ostrich. You land the largest antelope in the world. Looks sick to their predators in the wild, as it makes them look sick and scrawny. Now those horns you see on them are hollow, and they use them to defend their young. And sitting right here in the field, we have some of our scimitar horned oryx. They get their right. Those pecking away at their own reflection here on the cars. That's the favorite pastime of the ostriches. Cars line up for it. They want to be the next one to get bus windows because we don't care about the damage to the bus. But I always get amazed when people let the ostriches peck away at their windows
How is
for
that impossible?
hours on end. Now, despite being so small, the ostrich will move once he realizes there's a bus in front of him.
Ah, look.
There you go. To your left-hand side, you catch a view of our intelligent bird friend there. Gazelle. Now you can imagine that many animals moving at once kicks up quite the dust storm. So they have special nostril flaps in their nose to help filter out dust. Now, as you can see, they're not actually white, but more of a slate gray color. Their name comes from the Afrikaans word "wide," meaning wide or square lips. Forever. Now, those four all were born in South Africa. Okay, back in front of the bus you go. Nonchalant speed. These birds don't really acknowledge that other things exist.
She's not moving, right? Get her eyes off. She's
Thank you, ma'am. Horse of Africa. Now, zebra are almost impossible to tame, as they lack a couple of traits that make horses friends of man. They're not gentle like horses, so they don't really like humans.
Medium giraffe.
These are not horns, they're actually part of their skull. And their tongues they use like we use our fingers. They're very long,